You think the World Cup was born under blazing floodlights, inside roaring concrete coliseums, packed with millions of fans, waving flags and chanting in unison? But what if its first spark flickered not in a modern stadium, but beneath an endless prehistoric sky, when two groups of strangers stood frozen on the edge of bloodshed, their hearts pounding with raw fear and fury? Imagine a world stripped bare. No nations, no jerseys, no referees blowing whistles. A time when every encounter with the unknown could mean life or death. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans had roamed this earth as deeply social, imaginative creatures. Play was never a luxury. It was survival coded into our very bones. It sharpened reflexes, forged unbreakable bonds, tested courage and cunning without shattering the fragile web that held small bands together. Across the animal kingdom, mammals chase and wrestle. Birds perform elaborate dances of courtship. Yet humans took one decisive step further. We created rules. We turned raw movement into shared meaning. What if, in that ancient crucible of scarcity and danger, competition did not destroy us? What if it became the very force that saved us? Picture the scene unfolding like a slow, cinematic vision. A vast golden savanna stretches under a merciless sun. Resources are vanishing. Waterholes shrink to muddy puddles. Herds have moved on, leaving empty plains. Two separate bands of hunter-gatherers, each perhaps 30 or 40 souls, converge unknowingly on the same rocky ridge overlooking a fertile valley. Spears bristle in the dry air, eyes narrow with suspicion. These are not cartoonish cave people. They are fully modern humans in every way that matters. Capable of profound love and terrifying rage. Equipped with the same spark of imagination that still burns inside us today. Mothers clutch wide-eyed children close to their chests. Young men grip stone-tipped tools, muscles coiled like springs. The air grows thick with mistrust. One wrong step, one misinterpreted gesture, and violence will explode. Lives will be lost. Cycles of revenge will ignite and burn across generations. You can almost hear it. The low, warning growls rising in throats. The nervous shuffling of bare feet on dust. The heavy silence carrying one terrible, unspoken question. Stranger or threat? The tension coils tighter, almost unbearable. A seasoned leader from the first group steps forward, chest heaving with controlled breath. From the other side, another mirrors him. The rules are born not from some distant authority, but from the raw, shared necessity of the instant. Two sides form naturally. A line is scratched deep into the red earth with a stick. The goal becomes a distant, weathered tree stump. Touch the bladder to it and claim victory. No spears allowed. No claws, no lethal force. Only feet, hands, clever bodies moving together under rules both groups agree to honor. In that fragile agreement, the simple ball transforms. It is no longer just an object. It becomes a bridge across the abyss of fear. A stranger ceases to be a monster the moment both of you commit to the same set of rules. The game ignites. Bare feet pound the hard ground. Clouds of dust swirl upward like smoke from an invisible fire. Ah! Shouts ring out. No longer war cries, but challenges full of life and energy. A player from the first group dodges with surprising grace, threading the bladder to a companion with a deft flick. The other side counters with raw power and determined blocks. Players fall, skinning knees on sharp stones. Bruises bloom like dark flowers. Yet hands immediately reach down to pull the fallen back to their feet. Laughter mingles with grunts of effort. The sun climbs higher, yet time itself seems suspended in this new ritual. What began as deadly suspicion slowly melts through sweat, strategy, and shared struggle. One side scores the first point. Woo! Cheers erupt spontaneously from both groups. The defeated side claps shoulders in respect. The victors offer water from their gourds. In that electric instant, deep understanding blooms. These others bleed the same blood. They dream the same dreams. They laugh with the same relief. They are not monsters. They are mirrors. Competition had replaced conflict, not by pretending rivalry did not exist, but by giving it a safe, honorable channel. Play revealed truths that violence could never uncover. That the other group possessed skills worth admiring, stories worth sharing, strength that could complement rather than conquer. As the two bands part ways that evening under a fiery sunset, something profound lingers in the cooling air. Tales will be carried back to night fires. The swiftest runner becomes a living legend. The most clever passer earns admiration that crosses old divides. Children stay awake late, mimicking every move they witnessed, absorbing not only physical agility, but deeper lessons of fairness, resilience, and the pure thrill of striving side by side. Over countless generations, these chance encounters evolve into something more deliberate. Word travels along ancient migration paths and seasonal trade routes. Whenever different bands meet at water sources or rich gathering grounds, the game returns like a familiar friend. Groups develop signature styles shaped by their landscapes. One band excels at swift, weaving runs through tall, swaying grass. Another dominates with powerful, accurate throws and masterful control of the ball in the air. Wise elders step in as neutral guardians of the rules, ensuring no grudge festers beyond the final point. Young warriors discover they can prove their worth and earn status not through dangerous raids, but through dazzling displays of skill and teamwork. Women form their own vibrant contests, their grace, endurance, and tactical brilliance celebrated with equal reverence. Children watch everything with shining eyes, learning that true honor is won on the field of play, not the field of battle. Reputation begins to travel farther than any spear ever could. A player renowned for fair play and sportsmanship forges alliances that last lifetimes. A team that transforms bitter defeat into an eager call for a rematch builds friendships that span valleys and rivers. These gatherings gradually swell. Temporary camps grow crowded with visitors from distant territories. Feasts rich with roasted game and gathered fruits follow the matches. Stories around the fire weave every memorable victory and graceful defeat into enduring myths passed from elder to child. The ball itself, whether crafted from carefully stitched hides, woven plant fibers, or resilient fruits, is passed reverently from hand to hand. It becomes a humble yet powerful symbol of humanity's single greatest invention, the ability to challenge one another fiercely without destroying one another. This was never a polished, organized tournament with golden trophies or cheering empires. No grand structures rose because of it. Yet it planted an unbreakable seed deep within our collective human soul. Cooperation and competition, those twin engines that powered our entire evolution, finally found their perfect, harmonious balance. Play taught us that shared rules could transform potential enemies into respected rivals. That the honest testing of strength and wit could illuminate our common humanity. Thousands of generations later, that same ancient instinct still pulses strongly inside every one of us. Today, when billions of people across the planet tune in to watch the World Cup, when enormous modern stadiums shake with unified chants and raw emotion, when tears flow freely at a perfectly struck goal, we are not creating something entirely new. We are remembering. The floodlights are brighter now. The jerseys carry sponsor logos and national colors. The stakes feel global. Yet the heartbeat remains unmistakably ancient. When the ball arcs gracefully through the air under those lights, and for 90 minutes nations that might otherwise clash choose the pitch instead, something sacred happens. Strangers from every corner of the earth gather not to fight over territory or resources, but to chase the same round, bouncing dream under one set of agreed laws. Victory tastes sweet. Defeat stings with honest pain. Yet the entire ritual, ultimately binds us closer. The World Cup may well be humanity remembering something it has always known deep in its bones. That inside every one of us lives the living echo of those first courageous players on an ancient savanna. We are wired for play. We are wired for competition that elevates rather than erases. We are wired for that electric, transcendent connection when bitter rivals become, however briefly, part of something vastly larger than themselves. So the next time you settle in to watch the beautiful game, pause for a moment and look closer. Feel the ancient dust of that prehistoric field rising beneath the thunderous roar of the modern crowd. The ball is far more than stitched leather and air. It is a time traveler, carrying a profound message across tens of thousands of years. We can be fiercely competitive and still remain fair. We can strive with everything we have and still stand together when the final whistle blows. In the end, the greatest score is never merely the final tally on the board. It is the enduring truth that competition, born from human imagination in our darkest hours, became one of our most powerful pathways toward peace and connection. And in that beautiful revelation, we rediscover not just the mysterious origin of a beloved sport, but the quiet, enduring genius of what has always made us truly human.